Tony stabbed his godson 38 times, all just to exact revenge for himself. But just as he was about to escape, he realized he was surrounded by police. So he quickly hid in the market, planning to use his elderly persona to avoid pursuit. What he didn't know was that Jackie had already stationed people there to track him. To confirm Tony's true identity, Wendy quickly crouched down, pretending she had dropped something. Unbeknownst to her, this scene had already caught Tony's attention. Using the reflection on the ground's water surface, Wendy successfully confirmed his face, but just as she was about to report it. Fortunately, Jackie reminded her in time, preventing Wendy's identity from being exposed. But in her impatience to find Tony's address, Wendy ignored the warning and unhesitatingly followed him into the same elevator. But just as Wendy thought she had succeeded, Tony was about to make a move, and at the critical moment, Jackie arrived in time.
干嘛？
我的话听不听啊？
什么？
偷偷谈恋爱，被人发。
After a round of action, Tony finally lowered his guard, but unbeknownst to him, as he pressed the elevator floor buttons, he deliberately looked up to check if Wendy had a hidden walkie-talkie in her ear. Jackie had already anticipated this and had removed it when they entered the elevator. Then, to fully capture Tony's face, Jackie pulled out a recently purchased rotten apple from his pocket, deliberately bit off the bad part, and tossed it into a corner of the elevator. What Tony didn't know was that a hidden pinhole camera was inside. They thought the plan had succeeded, but just as Wendy was about to relax, Jackie immediately told her to keep moving forward. This was because Tony was a retired Special Forces operative with over a decade of service, his reconnaissance instincts terrifyingly sharp. So, to make him believe she was a local, Jackie deliberately reminded Wendy to pick up the delivery at the door. Only then did Tony finally let his guard down. But when he returned home, he still felt something was off, so he decided to check his old hideout. But as soon as Tony stepped into the house, dozens of assassins were already waiting, and the boss behind trying to kill him was, shockingly, his godson. It turned out that Tony had once been a retired Special Forces soldier, specializing in hunting political targets during his service. After retiring, Tony adopted 6 godsons, training them all to become elite robbers. But during one robbery, a godson interfered with the plan, delaying it by 5 seconds. This allowed the police to quickly discover their location. Tony had no choice but to intervene personally to help them escape. But as a result, Tony, who had been hidden for 30 years, was discovered by the police, and even his true identity was revealed. But Lucas believed Tony had slowed them down, so he gathered dozens of assassins, planning to completely eliminate his godfather. What he didn't realize was that these assassins were not nearly enough to challenge him.